What's up, guys? Adam here. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be taking you guys through my first race in the W13 Formula One car on iRacing. We're at the Hockenheim Ring. It's a 17 lap race, so this is a quarter distance race. The full length races don't come until the actual Formula One season starts. But I haven't raced in this car for a few months. Since it came out a few months ago. I was really happy with the W12, its predecessor, but obviously the W13 came out in this game. We stopped racing the W12. I was really unhappy with the W13 when it came out. You can see my previous video. I talk about that a little bit. But I finally got into it. But in between the W12 and me doing the W13 now, I did some Formula 4 racing and some LMDH racing, which was fun, but not what I'm really used to racing. So yeah, without further ado, gonna switch it over now to this video. Ideally, there you go. So yeah, we qualified in third place. You can see it's not that big of a gap between P1. I actually set my time on the second lap. My first lap wasn't that great. I think I should have done a double warm-up lap to get the tires and brakes up to temperature. That might be something I prioritize moving forward because the battery was not there in the second lap compared to the first lap. So I had at least a couple of tenths that I left on the table. So 17 lap race here. Race is starting in about 30 seconds. So we'll skip there now. We get a pretty calm start. This driver in front of me is not highly ranked compared to me, lower ranking. So I should, if I don't get past them, you can see I only get 26 points in my rating, my I rating, if I stay in this position. But we get the slipstream down into the hairpin. We take the inside. They don't defend for some reason. I don't mind that. No questions asked. Take the inside and we're off. Interesting to see in the top 5 now. There is a driver that's not here who ends up being pretty quick. So we'll point that driver out when we see them. But no DRS here for the first 2 laps. The third lap we get it. I've done very minimal practice on this track, on this combination. In my previous setup when I had the Fanatec, I was doing some F4 here, and I was actually pretty quick. So this track is definitely a preferred track of mine. It's really fun. But yeah, not enough experience on this combo to be super competitive, but we're up into P2. Still 8 tenths behind the leader. And you can see our ranking, perspective ranking, goes up to now 36 points from 20 something by making that pass. And you can see this guy Johan in first place really gets off that previous turn a lot better than I do. He's got a better part to the last sector than me. He's a little faster there, but I think on the heavy braking zones I claw some time back. Likely just because I have a load cell. But we got turn 1 here, pretty high commitment, just missed that big curb. And we're in DRS now. This is the start of the third lap. He hits the sausage on the inside there, which is not that great for him. We're still within DRS. We're a half second off of him starting our DRS. So now I'm gauging for the first time how much slipstream I get with the DRS active. And he kind of leaves the door open, and I wasn't really trying to go for the move here. But 0x car contact. We're side by side here. We're still side by side here. Still side by side. I go a little deep, a little wide, but he finally regains the position after multiple corners, one after another. Now we can see somebody who is now in P4, Hannes, I don't really know how to say their name. They started, I think, in P6, and now they're 2 seconds behind us, which is not crazy surprising, but a great start by them. We're still in the DRS, so that's comfortable. Still in the DRS here. They were a little further ahead, P1, than last time. And they go really wide here. I am forced to take a tighter line out of that hairpin. Compromises my exit speed, but regardless, we are right behind them. And this is where I think they do a really good job getting out of the corner. They do take a little bit of the curb on the left there and then just flick the car over. I don't have the confidence yet to do that. That's really the first. I don't even know the line that well to begin with. But if you take some of these curbs, your car spins out and you're losing a lot of time. So we're still in DRS. Like it's like this basically every lap. I feel like I do a pretty good job closing up here on that corner, but especially this lap, that was pretty good. Now we're 4 tenths behind instead of 5 tenths starting the DRS. So we're gonna see how much more that puts us side by. So we're basically side by side entering this corner, and that was only 1/10 of a difference. And you can see I'm waiting to turn in because I'm thinking about getting the switch back. It doesn't happen. And I'm pretty strong on the brakes here, but they're pretty good on the exit out of that corner. Also, I am experiencing some loss of downforce by following the car so closely. This turn, I could probably gain some more time. This next turn right here, you cannot touch the curbs and put the throttle down, otherwise your car spins, and especially on the exit there too. Those curbs are okay. These curbs are okay. I stay off the curbs. 2 turns ago, and you definitely want to take the curbs here and here just to open your entry up. And obviously all of you, I thought I was going to get an off track, but somehow I did not. We're still at a 0x here. Lock up a little bit at the end there. We understeer, missed the apex, so we're 8 tenths behind. We're obviously still 9 tenths now, but we don't pull nearly as much time because we have less slipstream. But they go really deep again, and it does compromise me every single time through that corner. So down to 6 tenths from 9 tenths. Back up to 8 tenths. So I was a little concerned at this part of the race if they were just going to pull away, because the grip is here. I mean, at this point we should be flying. This should probably be our fastest laps of the race for sure. I make a critical mistake and we are 1 second behind the car in front, and we do not have DRS for the first zone right here. So I need to get a really good break into this turn, which I do. I hit the apex pretty well, break deep, and we're within 810. So we have DRS down the big straight here. So I'm happy about that because it just allows me to close up. And I know I'm not in a position to make a move, but it just keeps me in the race. So I went from 1 second to a half second. Right there, maybe 6 cents now. So I just need to figure out where I can make a move on this track. I haven't really made any overtakes in this car in forever, ever. So this is all new territory for me. I get a slightly better apex. And our exits are maybe the same, but now they hit the curb a little bit, the sausage, and we are pretty close. 4/10. I get an off track, but honestly I don't mind because this is my best chance. That was my best time out of turn one, and they lock up and we're completely on the back of them. So if I can't make a move here, I just need to really reevaluate how I'm going to attack this person, because I will be side by side. They defend. I have the outside. Can we outbreak them on the outside and take the inside? On the switchback, no. So pretty frustrated again. We're almost halfway done with the race. They take a slightly tighter line than I thought they would. Right there. So need to figure out what to do, how to attack this person. Meanwhile, the person behind us has made up a position on that lap. So they were P4, now they're P3, starting P6. I go off track again. That's 2 consecutive laps at turn 1 that I receive an off track. We're still kind of too far to make a move. But we do get all that slipstream and close up. And they understeer into that turn, go get a late, they get too early of an apex and not really even on the apex every time, which compromises how I take the turn, which could theoretically be strategic, but I don't know. So we are pretty close here. They go over that sausage, but it doesn't seem to affect them that much. It's just quite interesting looking back at this now. And I get a 3rd consecutive off track. So getting a little messy here. They go really deep, miss the turn. I mean, I don't have a great one myself, but 410 starting the DRS again. So we should get side by side. They should defend. They do leave like less than a car's width on the inside, so I can't go for it. And I'm thinking at this point, okay, I can't make it on the inside. I got to go around the outside. Unsuccessful again. So we're 10 laps in. I've got 7 more attempts into that hairpin. I gotta make something work. Meanwhile, we still have somebody half a second behind us who's just sitting waiting for us to make a mistake. They can't get by me down the main straight, the back straight, because I have DRS to the car in front. So I'm traveling at a higher speed than the car in front of me. And they basically have the same speed as myself, so it's hard for them to make a move on me. 7 tenths. I'm too far away this lap. But we brake in a straight line and we brake deep. And I'm afraid I'm going to hit this guy every single time. But we sit right behind them again. And they pull a few tenths on us through that section. We're about roughly equal here. We're about roughly equal for the rest of that lap. Starting turn 1 again. They get another off track. We don't. 6 tenths, 5 tenths entering the braking zone. It's back up to 6 tenths. I missed the apex a little bit, so still too far to make a move again. You can see the top 3 cars, including myself. The top 4 actually. The guy in 4th place posted the fastest lap of for that last lap. And second fastest was the car right behind us. So the 2 cars behind us theoretically are going faster than us, but nothing we can do about it. It's not gonna. It was just marginal. Slightly missed the apex there. He does a really good job pulling over again to that left side. That's a really fun corner, but still really tough. So I need him to make a mistake because right now I'm not closing. And there it is. He gets a bad exit on the penultimate corner. And I lift just slightly more than I should. Typically. I present a fake move to him, try to set him off, and it works. But I'm past him, and I don't want to give up the DRS, so I'm letting off the throttle, which allows 3rd place to just steam by us with DRS. So that was a pretty crazy sequence. Kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit. Needed to judge what this person was going to do. And that guy, John, made contact with this person as they were coming through. And he had suspension damage, and that was the end of his race. Like, just like that. Because he made... I forced him into a mistake. Successfully. But I was going to give him the DRS. And I didn't want to do that. So I let off the throttle. It's not my fault at any point. It's strategic by me. Because I wanted to hold the DRS. And be just 1/10 behind him. Because that would guarantee me to hold the inside into the hairpin. But then this person comes steaming through. Which, all respect to them, was a great move. So now we need to do something to get past this person. Who started in, I think, like 6th place. But we are too far this lap to make a move. Need to judge how they take this turn. I put my foot down too early. I get another off track here. I hit the sausage there. That was a learning experience. And I thought this guy behind me could have dive bombed. But I'm very glad he didn't. Because it would have absolutely lost the DRS to the car in front, and it would have been a fight for 2nd place. I was looking to see where this guy Johan went on my relative. Honestly, I should just pay attention to my race instead of silly things like that, especially during this tricky section, this 3rd sector. But the gap is only 8 tenths. It's not over a second. It's 9 tenths, just within DRS. So we get this first DRS zone right here. Pull another 10th. Maybe slightly narrow apex, but we do hit the apex. 6/10 now, 7/10, DRS enabled. Lap 15, so I have 2 more attempts aside from this one right here into the hairpin, which I know I'm not going to make a move now. So I have 2 more chances to get this move done. There's no way I'm making the move this lap. The rest of this lap is just purely technical. Lots of turns, no overtaking. No way to outbrake them anywhere. Unless they just make a big mistake. But it's how well you can follow in this sector that sets you up for the straight. So they're taking a wider line, which allows them to put the power down earlier out of that banked left-hand turn. This person was faster in the last sector, so I wish I could have studied their third sector a little bit better from an onboard. But this lap car, thankfully, just does not cause any trouble. Gets out of the way. They go deep, but I have a terrible... I should not have paid attention to how bad their line was. I should have focused on my own line. Because that was a really good chance for me to make a move on this lap. But we get close. They do defend. I'm thinking about the switchback again here, but they kind of lock up and twitch a little bit, so I have to pull out of the move. But I used the curb on entry there to that left-hander, and it really helped me out. It's really opened up the turn, and I followed very well in this last sector, entering the last lap. So I have 1 more chance, and this is probably my best opportunity of the entire race, no matter who's been in front of me, because I've kept up so well in that third sector. So, well, you could say I was closer into turn 1 with Johan on a different lap, but we're in a great position here. Slow the car down in third, hit the apex very nicely. We still are very close. We're 3/10. This is the closest we've been exiting, starting the next DRS zone. 2/10, 1/10, and they don't defend. I don't know why. This stumped me. I was so confused because to the point where I lock up, you know, jab the power a bit, kind of rotate the car, and we're in the lead on the last lap. I've led 0 laps of this race up until this point. I still technically have not led this lap until I cross the start-finish line, which would be the end of the race. So, you know, just taking it very calm, very easy, because there's no way they can overtake me here. There's no reason for me to try and go spin out. I pull my shifts early. Really don't want to spin the car out. Take a very conservative last few corners, and that's a race win. I led half a lap, and it all worked out. So really pleased with that. Really confused why this person did not defend into that last corner. I thought they easily had the win in their hands if they defended. Maybe I could have done something around the outside, but they didn't even try to defend. So that's, you know, first race win in the W13, in my first race in the W13. So I'll take that. Got a little bit of tightness on my right elbow on the inside after doing all those races, or after all those laps, but at the end of the day, was definitely a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. I'm gonna pull up the results here and just show you what happened in terms of my I rating and other finishing positions. So I went up 47 points in my I rating. My safety rating was effectively the same. Had 4 incident points. My best lap was the 3rd lap. 4 incident points. My best lap was the 7th lap. P2's best lap was the fastest lap of the race, and that was on lap 3. And you can see as we scroll down, this guy, Johan, who was leading, he led 12 laps of the race, had 6 incident points, and disconnected 4 laps before the finish. He was 4 laps down, and he did not reconnect. So I presume he suffered some terminal suspension damage during that contact and was out of the race because he flew off the track and did not return. But Hannes, that you can see, started in 6th place, was the 3rd highest ranked player, was a 4,000 rated player, so a very solid ranking. Myself, now I'm at the highest I rating I've ever had. Here was the starting grid. I don't really know much about these other drivers, but I've heard of this person's name before. So they are typically a great driver. This is the club this other person was at. I'm not really sure what that means. But yeah, how many entries? 19 entries globally, and we got the win. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. I really do appreciate it. Let's see, what am I doing now? But yeah, hop back in for some other races in the near future. I will be out this coming weekend skiing, but the goal is to get back in the seat pretty soon. So I'll show you guys what some of the upcoming races are. We've got the Formula A at the Hockenheim Ring. There's another race here, but starting at 6 p.m., there's a new track. So we can take a look here. Yeah, this is the 5th week. There's been 4 weeks of racing, so about a month, which I've just not scored any points on. But this is nice. This coming week is Spa, starting today. So that should be a lot of fun. I love the Spa track. Should be great. I'll get some races in after my 9 to 5 job during the week. Tomorrow, day after. So Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday I fly out and I come back Monday. Maybe I can get some races in Monday if I'm back in time. But Tuesday and Wednesday, so tomorrow and day after, I'll be in the seat doing some races at Spa. Probably do a stream one of those evenings. So yeah, hop back in. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks.